I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Kenny. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. And give an F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn they stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to.
Welcome in. Happy Friday, everybody. Friday before the Super Bowl. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Last night, I was talking about it on yesterday's stream. Went 0-3 on what was that? Yesterday was Thursday, so I went 0-3 on Wednesday. And then last night, we bet on Utah plus 5.5. What happens? They lose by 6 in triple overtime. You just can't make this stuff up. Yeah, can't make it up, but we're gonna make it all back on the Super Bowl. I'm so excited. There's one bet that I've given out already. Tosin and Oakland both lost 2 terrible nights. Yeah, dude, Tosin. I mean, they just didn't play well. Oakland lost a close one. I bet on Utah. It's just like this stuff doesn't make sense, Jeff. Like Tosin undefeated at home. Of course, they get run by a team that they've already beat by like 9 points. And then I didn't bet on the game, but another example, UAB undefeated at home, playing a top 25 team in the country. In FAU, of course, they win in overtime. Like if it's just it's like the complete opposite of what you bet on, what I bet on. But dude, the Utah that Utah game has to be the toughest loss of the season. A 5.5 point underdog loses by 6 in triple overtime. Like they couldn't have just given up a bucket to lose the game before it even went. Once it kept going to overtime, I knew like it was chalked. Like just absolutely horrible. But we're gonna make it back on the Super Bowl. There's one bet I've given out, which I made the TikTok for, which was the shortest touchdown. So I've already given that one out, but we're gonna talk Cash UAB. Yeah, that was a good bet. They were ready to go. They were ready to play. But we're going to go through some more stuff today. We'll talk about the game, any props I like, anything like that. If there's any bets you guys like, post it in the chat, and we can talk about that a little bit as well. And then at the end of the stream, I'm going to pull up KenPom, and we're going to look at tomorrow's college basketball games. There's actually 3 like decent. Well, really, there's 2 good college basketball games tonight, but I don't think I'm going to bet on either of them. It's VCU and Dayton. VCU at home. And then San Diego State at Nevada. If I end up betting on one spot tonight, it's probably going to be San Diego State. I think they're the better team. And it was like 2 points the last time I looked, 2.5, I think maybe the spread. So if we can, and there was juice on Nevada. So if we could get that to like a 3-point spread, I would consider taking San Diego State for sure. Since I think that they're just the best team, the better team. So probably won't have any college basketball tonight, but I'll pull up KenPom at the end. We'll look at tomorrow's games. There's a ton of games on Saturday, but let's dive into the Super Bowl. So I have not taken a side yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to take a side. If I do take a side, I'm going to be on Kansas City to cover. So I've kind of went over this. I understand, the popular things on Twitter right now is that all the money's on KC, or all the public's on KC, but the line isn't moving, like blah blah blah. I don't care about betting splits in the year 2024. I think that when it comes to the NFL, there's so much action on the NFL, it doesn't matter. Like I don't care about this. If you're looking at like a Ivy League college basketball game and there's 30% of the tickets on one side, but 80% of the money, yes, I think that is noteworthy. But when we're talking about NFL football, there's so much money coming in on this There's so much public information available. I don't care. I just don't care about a betting split. So I feel like that the common rebuttal as to why people like Kansas City or why people like San Fran is that all of the money is on all of the public is on KC, but the line's not moving. I feel like that's the popular kind of rebuttal that I've seen, and I just don't care in the year 2024 about a betting split. And you also have to factor in that like the action on the Super Bowl is going to be so large, it's going to end up outweighing this. But like, there's a ton of futures money tied onto people that have picked the Niners to win the Super Bowl. Like, it all balances out. But I think that if you look at roster top to bottom, San Fran definitely the better team. But the better team doesn't always win. I think Philly was the better team last year when they played Kansas City, and Kansas City still won. Kansas City has the better quarterback. They have the better coach. They have the better kicker. If it comes down to a one-score game, that could make a difference. They have a better defense, in my opinion. Like, San Fran's defense is really good, but I said this a few days ago. Steve Spagnuolo is proven time and time again to be absolutely elite when it comes to playoff game plans and game planning for teams in playoffs. So when you're giving him time, 2 weeks to prepare, like, I feel more confident in Steve Spagnuolo on the defensive end than I do Steve Wilks. So I think that a lot of boxes get checked in favor of Kansas City, on top of the fact that they just have the best quarterback, and it's not even close. They have the best quarterback in the NFL. So I have not bet on the side of the game. I don't know if I'm going to. If I do, I'm going to bet Chiefs. There's a 2.5 on FanDuel, so obviously I would be betting 2.5 over 2. So that's my take on the side of the game. If I make a bet, it will be on Kansas City, but I don't know if I'm going to bet the game at all. I might just bet props. As far as touchdown scores go, John, what's up? MVS yards and Pacheco rushing attempts. MVS yards, I think, could be interesting. I'll pull it up, see what it is. Touchdown scores. Actually, let's do is MVP, do they have MVP odds on here? This is just 3 touchdowns. I'm trying to see these MVP odds. I don't know where they are on DraftKings. But for Super Bowl MVP, Chiefs have scored first in every Super Bowl Mahomes has been in. Also, they've scored it the first quarter. Yeah, the Chiefs have been really, really good first script. Opening script, first drive of the game. Chiefs have been very, very good. So I was looking at some of their like first drive. You can look here. First drive, KC, like touchdowns plus 215, field goal attempt plus 320. But you can get even deeper and look at like, just different possibilities. You can look at like length of drive. Like I saw there was a prop like Chiefs to cross the 50-yard line on their first drive or something. I thought was interesting. They have been very, very good when it comes to first drive, so I definitely could see that. Here's my thoughts on MVP. I have bet 2 MVPs so far, and it was Travis Kelce at 18-1 and Rashee Rice at 60-1. So obviously, if I like the Chiefs, like if I'm leaning more Chiefs, I think that Mahomes. I think it'd be really, really hard for Mahomes not to win MVP, considering he's in both of their Super Bowl wins. He won MVP. In one of those games, Damian Williams scored 3 touchdowns, and Mahomes still won MVP. But I will say the caveat to that is that in that game where Damian Williams scored 3 touchdowns, Damian Williams doesn't have a big name, right? Like, we saw this in the past, whereas James White did that, had a nuclear game in that game, Patriots Atlanta, and Tom Brady still won MVP. Like, James White and Damian Williams, like, those aren't big name players. And also, the game that Damian Williams scored 3 touchdowns and Mahomes won MVP, it was Patrick Mahomes' first Super Bowl win. So it was very, very fresh in people's minds. Like, Patrick Mahomes is next up. He's going to be, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Like, it was really, really fresh in people's minds that this was Patrick Mahomes' first go at it and his first Super Bowl. So I think that now that he's won 2 Super Bowl MVPs, everybody knows the story when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, and the team plays a little bit differently. Like, I don't know if it's likely for Mahomes to have like 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, just given how the Chiefs play right now. Like, they do run more than we've seen in the past. They rely more on their defense than we've seen in the past. So I will say I think it's super, super likely Mahomes will win MVP if the Chiefs win the game. I think that there's more of a chance this year specific that he doesn't than in any years past that the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl. So the only paths that I see for him to not win MVP would be if Travis Kelsey in specific has like 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think that that could, I think that that, I think that it would become a conversation with, people will act like the Taylor Swift stuff doesn't affect things. It definitely does affect things because of how popular Travis Kelsey has become. Not that he wasn't popular before; he's the best tight end in the league, but you know what I'm saying. Like the spotlights are on him. So if Mahomes has a game where he say throws 2 touchdowns, both of them go to Travis Kelsey, and he has a really good game, I do think that there's a slight chance that Travis Kelsey wins, but it's a slight chance. That's why I took him at 17-1, and Mahomes is plus 150 or whatever he is to win MVP. So I did take Travis Kelsey and Rashee Rice MVPs for small unit plays. I think that if you think that the Chiefs win the game, they're plus 102 here on the money line. Travis Mahomes is, plus 140 to win MVP. Like, you could just bet that instead. And I think that if you think the Niners win, I think it's very clear you just take an MVP candidate. Don't even bet the 49ers money line. If you think the 49ers win the game, obviously someone on the 49ers is going to win MVP. And I mean, even Brock Purdy's 2-1. So instead of getting San Fran at minus 122, you're getting 2-1. And then if you don't think Brock Purdy wins, which I think that it's pretty likely that he would not win Super Bowl MVP unless he had an insane game where he like ran a touchdown in, that could happen. But I think the paths to other players on the Niners winning Super Bowl MVP is much more open than it is on KC. KC really, if you look at just the entire pie of Super Bowl MVP candidates, I think that you have about a 60 to 70% on the Chiefs. 60 to 70% of that pie is going to be Patrick Mahomes. And then I'd give you, maybe 15 to 20% Travis Kelsey, and then a smaller percentage Rice. And then you're getting into like 0.5 to 1% chance of like someone on defense scores 2 touchdowns or something. So, but if you look at the pie on the 49ers, I think it's much more open because it's very, very clear people do not like Brock Purdy. It's very strange to me because usually the underdog becomes the most popular player and people kind of root for him. But whatever happened when Brock Purdy became the favorite for the MVP candidate with like 4 weeks left in the season, I mean, it took a turn. People do not like Brock Purdy, and I think that voters in specific are not going to value Brock Purdy highly. And I think that whoever has the best game skill position wise on San Fran is going to get MVP if they win the game. So I think if you want to bet San Fran, if you think San Fran wins this Super Bowl, I wouldn't even mess with that minus 122 money line. I would be taking McCaffrey MVP, Debo MVP, whoever you think is going to score 2 touchdowns. That's who I would be taking because I think it's super likely that I think it's way worse odds in my opinion than 2-1 that Purdy would win MVP. So I don't like Purdy at 2-1. But even if you think Purdy wins it, I mean, you're still getting better odds than the minus 122 on the money line. People feel like yeah, I agree. I think that that's accurate. I think people think if Sam Darnold was a quarterback, they'd still be just as good. 100%. That's why I think that it's worse odds than 2-1 he would win Super Bowl MVP. So if you think the San Francisco 49ers win this game, don't bet them -2. Don't bet them on the money line. Just take Christian McCaffrey MVP and take Debo Samuel MVP and hope one of them scores 2 touchdowns. Like, I think with Debo, I could see it being Debo Dewan because you obviously have the, I don't know, you have the potential of him just being a big time player. He's going to be healthy with these couple weeks off before the game. So yeah, I agree with that. I think he was like 25-1 the last time I looked. So that's my thoughts on MVP. We can move here. Touchdown scorers. I mean, obviously, we think Christian McCaffrey's going to score a touchdown, but he's minus 235, so we're not betting that. I think that I want when I get to Vegas. So I'm going to land in Vegas like a few hours before the game. I do want to put a bigger bet on a touchdown scorer, and have not. Normally, I have a really really good feel. If anyone has followed my bets all season, we've done really really good on touchdown scorer bets this year, and I just don't really have a feel on anyone. It's really strange. I mean, I think Travis Kelsey would probably be my most likely person to score a touchdown, but I just don't have a good feel on anyone. Debo at plus 135 is interesting to me, but I don't know. Does anyone do any of you in chat have any idea like who's your favorite touchdown pick? Because I just don't have a strong feel for someone. In terms of first touchdown score, I think there's plenty of darts that we can take here. I'm much more interested in a first touchdown dart right now than I am putting a bigger bet on any time because I just can't. I just don't have a feel for anybody. Someone said Debo touchdown. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a really popular pick though. Like I feel like a lot of people are on this Debo TD. So I don't know. I need to think about it more. Um, Nathan, you love Kelsey and Pacheco. Yeah, that would be my two favorites. I think. It would just be for me deciding which one. Kelsey, I think he scored in 8 of his last 9 playoff games. Um, he did score in last year's Super Bowl. Pacheco scored in last year's Super Bowl. Um, my only concern with Pacheco is that we are going to probably get Jerick McKinnon back for this game, who we know they can put in the red zone. And we are going to get like Mecole Hardman back for this game. He only played 1 snap in their last game, but because he fumbled twice against Buffalo and then he played just 1 snap against Baltimore. But I mean, it's been time to prepare, multiple weeks for the game. So I do think that they could mix something in the red zone for him. And then, Jerick McKinnon being back scares me. Like they could use him in the red zone. So that's my one concern with Pacheco. So I think I would lean Kelsey if I was going to pick a Chiefs guy. And I do think I like Debo for San Fran just because of the odds. But first touchdown score, I think that there's some darts we can take here. First and foremost, Noah Gray at 55-1, I think is interesting. Chiefs have played a lot of 12 personnel, a lot of 2 tight ends because they haven't been able to rely. They haven't been able to rely on any receiver that's not named Rashee Rice, and so it's really kind of forced them to play more of their tight ends this season. So I think Noah Gray at 55-1 is interesting. I think that Blake Bell even at 100-1, like this is worth even if you're a small better, like this is worth $1 to win 100, right? This is worth $1 to win 100. I think just because we know the tight ends have been on the field. So I'm interested in Noah Gray and Blake Bell for first TDs. I'm also going to be interested in one of these Chiefs guys, like a Justin Watson type. I just need to decide which one. I think that like Hardman at 60-1, like I said, they could scheme something up for him. Sky Moore is going to be back for this game. Sky Moore famously didn't score a touchdown last year. His only touchdown was in the Super Bowl. And it was a schemed up kind of like little play for him. So I think that you could see something similar, whether it be for Sky Moore or Mecole Hardman. I actually think Sky Moore's probably a little more likely just because Hardman's had those fumble issues. So, and like I said, he scored in last year's Super Bowl. So maybe Sky Moore might be the receiver I take a shot on, but Justin Watson was kind of interesting just because he can catch a long one. But there's some high odds on these tight ends and guys. So I'm going to be looking there for my first touchdown darts, I think. As far as other props on the game, um, let's see here. Passing prop, there's one prop I've also taken here, and it is all the way down at the bottom. It's just so many props. It's actually crazy. Patrick Mahomes under. Patrick Mahomes to not throw an interception, I like at even odds. That's something I've taken. It will be on my card. He has not thrown. He hasn't thrown a interception in a few games. He's been playing really really good. And he's been taking care of the ball. And like I said, they've been running the ball more. So I think that the passing volume as a whole is going to be down for him. So I like the under interceptions for Mahomes. That will be on my card. I kind of like race to 100 yards in favor of Mahomes as well. I don't know where I just saw that. Oh, race to 100 passing yards. Mahomes minus 120. I'm interested in that. Could make its way into my card. My full card I'll tweet out tomorrow. But as far as stuff I've for sure taken, Kelsey MVP, Rice MVP, Mahomes under interceptions, and the 1 yard touchdown, which I made the TikTok about. Those are all the stuff I've taken thus far. Receiving props, I'm interested in Rashee Rice. I wanted to see if we could do like some sort of an alternate reception thing here, but I don't know if it'll let me see that on DraftKings. So I'm gonna pull up FanDuel on my phone. What if you're in the chat, what's your favorite prop? Either team doesn't matter. Just favorite prop overall. While I pull this up, let me see here. I wanted to see if we could do an alternate reception. With Kelsey and Rice. What is it? That's plus 108. Okay, so I might be adding this to my card. RJ, what's up? Yeah, happy Super Bowl weekend to everyone. TJ Watt. Yeah, I don't think he got I don't think TJ Watt got snubbed. I mean, TJ Watt's very, very good, but I do think Myles Garrett was defensive player of the year. If you guys are in the Discord from the preseason, we hit 2 futures bets last night. We had Myles Garrett defensive player of the year from before the season, and we had Lamar Jackson MVP from before the season. So two wins on that. Can't complain. As far as receiving props, though, I want to do Travis Kelsey 6+ catches and Rashee Rice 6+ catches. It's plus 108. I am interested in that. So favorite prop is betting Taylor Swift wearing red. I can't bet. That's like more offshore stuff. I don't think they don't have those odds up, but that sounds like a pretty good bet to me. I would love to be able to bet on first song for the halftime show. There's just so many props. It's actually crazy. Kansas City Chiefs over 19.5 first downs. I like it's minus 155 though. This was like minus 130 when I looked at it. I do like that bet, even though it's a little juicy. Jones and Bosa get sack plus 340. That's interesting. Overall for me though, like my main stuff, like I don't know. I'm probably gonna add that reception thing. Kelsey 6+ and Rice 6+ plus 108. So that'll probably be on my card. Are you doing core plays or doing a full breakdown if you like to show down? Yeah, I'm gonna have I won't have an article up, but I'll post like a full. I'm gonna post like a couple paragraphs, like notes in the Discord. Probably tomorrow night, and then obviously the cores will be up on. Maybe Saturday night, probably Sunday morning. But I'm gonna post like my player pool and stuff in the Discord, cheap guys that I like, and kind of how I would play it depending on what sort of contest format that you're playing. We've done really, really well the last few years on Super Bowl showdown, so I'm pretty excited actually for the slate. Should be pretty fun. Yeah. So if you guys have any other Super Bowl props you like, for me, like I said, don't know if I'll be taking a side. If I do, it's probably going to be KC. I gave out some MVP picks. Kelsey 6+ Rice 6+ receptions. Parlay that together. +108 is interesting to me. First touchdown darts down here that I'm interested in. Anytime touchdown, gun to my head, I'd pick Travis Kelsey. And then we have like some other props as well. And I'm on Discord under different names to look forward to it. Yeah. Yeah. I know you're in there, RJ. Yeah. Full card. I'll post it in the Discord tomorrow. I'll tweet it out tomorrow night or Sunday morning sometime, depending on. We'll see if hopefully I don't have any flight delays or anything. Like, hopefully I can just get out to Vegas, no issues. For now, though, let's see if we can pull up. Let me see if I can pull Ken Palm up and we can look at tomorrow's college basketball games. If you joined in late, like I said, I'm probably not going to be betting any college basketball tonight, but tomorrow's slate is really good. Pull this up. All right. All right. So we have Ken Palm pulled up here. Tomorrow, let's look at tonight's games first. Just 3 games. San Diego State at Nevada, Dayton at VCU, San Jose State at Colorado State. I'd be interested in a Colorado State first half line if it's not too crazy, just because they've been super good at home. San Jose State's not good. I think Colorado State's going to be able to do whatever they want offensively. So first half for Colorado State, if it's not too crazy, I think would be interesting. Dayton at VCU is a fun game. I just don't have a lean there. I think Dayton's a better team, but VCU at home, they're going to be playing backs against the wall. Crowd should be good. That's probably a pass for me. And then this one, like I said, I saw it at 2. Ken Palm has it in Nevada by 1. I saw it at 2.5 earlier before stream. If this gets to 3 or 3.5, I'll probably take San Diego State. And then that's like the one play I'm going to be interested in tonight. Tomorrow, big games. Arizona at Colorado. I can already tell you I'm probably going to be interested in Colorado without seeing what the line is. Arizona just played last night. They went to triple overtime. Now they're going to go on the road to Boulder and play against Colorado. I think Colorado's a really good team. Ken Palm has it as Arizona by 3. So we'll see what the spread is on this. But I can already tell you I'm probably going to be interested in Colorado tomorrow. Arizona coming off a triple overtime game last night. Got to go on the road and play in Boulder. Colorado for me is a lean. Illinois, Michigan State, don't have a lean there. I got to stop betting on the Big Ten until we get to the conference tournament. I just can't with some of these Big Ten teams, man. I just can't. Auburn, Florida's a good game. I would lean Auburn. I think they're the better team, but Florida's a really interesting team. They really only play good at home. I know they did beat Kentucky at Rupp, but they seem to have Kentucky's number. So I don't really want to go against Florida while they're at home in Gainesville, but I would lean, I think, Auburn in that one. Kentucky should roll Gonzaga. I don't think Gonzaga is very good, but Kentucky's lack of defensive ability just allows teams to stay in games. So that's my thought on that. Kansas against Baylor. I'm going to be interested in Kansas here. I've been on Baylor their last few games, and now we get Kansas at home. Kansas doesn't lose at home. We've talked about this. There's just voodoo up there in Fog Allen. So Kansas is going to be a lean to me. Colorado and Kansas, I'm most interested in right now. North Carolina at Miami is a really, really fun game. Miami needs to win this game, but UNC is just rolling. It's going to be an interesting dynamic of styles because if you look at North Carolina, they're super, super good at defending threes, top 25 in the country. And I think for the last month stretch, teams have just been shooting so bad from 3 against them. Obviously, Miami, they play a smaller style and they're going to rely on hitting those 3-pointers. You know, they're top 35 and 3-point percentage. It's going to be a really interesting contrast of styles for that game, given how good North Carolina's been at defending the 3 and how much Miami relies on the 3. TCU at Iowa State. I'm definitely interested in Iowa State here at home. Boise State at Utah State. That's a good Mountain West game. I always pretty much lean the home teams when it comes to Mountain West games, but Boise in particular has been really, really good on the road. If we look at their last games, one away at New Mexico in the pit, that is super hard. One away at Fresno State, one away at Nevada, one away at San Jose State. Like, they did take an L to Colorado State, but I mean, Boise's been pretty good on the road for the majority of the season. Drake at Bradley is a big game. Alabama, LSU. Too bad Ohio State's not on the road. We could just fade them. I mean, Ohio State is just abysmal. Maryland's not great on the road, but I don't know how. Like, Ken Palm has it Ohio State by 3. I mean, I would probably just lean towards Maryland. They're going to have the best player on the court, and I just don't trust Ohio State at all. I mean, they just blew a 19-point lead to Indiana at home and lost. So, yeah, that's a pass for me. Not as many big games as there has been the few weeks, but still some really, really good games at the top here. I mean, Auburn, Florida is really good. Baylor, Kansas, very good. Creighton, Xavier's a good game. Arizona, Colorado, but it looks like early looks for me, Colorado, Kansas, and then maybe, I don't know, Houston's struggled on the road this year. So I don't know. We'll have to see what some of the spreads of these games are. I might be interested in North Carolina, but Miami's going to be playing backs against the wall at home. I have no idea. So we'll see what the lines are. Overall, you guys can go back and rewatch this. Like I said, if you're in the Discord, betcomer.com/price if you want access to the tools. I'll have my card up for college basketball tonight, tomorrow. And then my football card for Super Bowl, I'll post it in Discord first, but then eventually I'll tweet it out so you can just check my Twitter. And then dfscomer.com/pricing if you want access to the Super Bowl core plays for Showdown. I'll have my player pool posted in the Discord tomorrow night, and then cores will be up on Sunday. Good luck in the Super Bowl. Hopefully make some money. And the streams will be different next week because I'm going to be in Vegas, so I might do some pre-recorded stuff. We'll see. But I'll tweet out whatever updates we have. Good luck with your wages this weekend, and I'll see you guys when I see you.